Hey guys, Colin here and welcome to Center Life Balance. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate for you a very brief warm-up set for practicing before your Qigong. We start with the feet together. It's always a good idea to start your sets with your feet together just to feel for your alignment from the top of the crown of the head down to the soles of the feet. This is a good opportunity to check your body for relaxation before you get into your Qigong set. So when you're ready, sinking the weight onto the right foot, going to step out about shoulder width apart. Now before you start your exercises, you want to check that your feet are basically pointing in the same direction. You don't want to have one foot pointing out to the right and the other one pointing straight in. You want them both to be parallel. Now it's okay if one foot is out and the other foot are out equally the same amount, but you don't want to spread too much out. Generally speaking, you want the feet to be about shoulder width apart and pointing straight ahead. So we're going to begin with a body loosening set that can help you develop more relaxation within the body before you get into your Qigong set. The first exercise, we're just going to swing the hands gently out to the side like this. Now as you'll notice, for each time I'm swinging the arms, I'm crossing left in front of right and then right in front of left. I'm also having a little bit of a bounce up and down, just bending the knees slightly and straightening out slightly as we swing the arms. As we do this exercise, we want to maintain as much relaxation as we can in the shoulders and in the arms. This exercise is predominantly for relaxing the shoulders. You'll also notice that as I'm going up and down and letting the shoulders relax, dropping the arms out to the side, that my body is generally keeping straight. You want to make sure that your spine is not tilting left or right. You want to make sure that your spine is staying straight while you do this movement. With any of these exercises you're about to watch, you can practice them for an extended period of time or for a shorter period of time, depending on how much relaxation you need to get into that area. The next exercise we're going to do is just turning the body from left to right and letting the arms just touch the back and the front of the body as you go. Again, with this movement, we want to focus on relaxing the shoulders as much as possible. You don't want to be using the shoulders to move the arms. Just by turning the body will in itself cause the arms to follow. So really what you want to focus on is turning at the waist and letting the arms just follow loosely afterwards. Now the reason this exercise is good for Qigong and good for warming up is because it allows you to relax the arms instead of using the arms. And really, relaxation is what we're going for in Qigong. The next exercise we want to do is just swinging the arms up in front of the body and letting them fall down. Again, you'll notice that my knees are bending, straightening, so I'm sort of bouncing up and down a little bit. When you bounce up and down like this, it also creates the momentum in the body that allows the arms to float up without you having to use the shoulders to lift the arms. Again, with this movement, you want to do your best to keep your spine straight and your head perpendicular with the ground. So as you're doing this movement, it's almost like you're sitting down as you come down and straightening up as you come up. Letting the arms be as loose as possible and as relaxed as possible. The next movement we're going to do is some joint rotation exercises to bring some more flexibility and mobility into the joints. I'm going to start with the wrists for this movement. So you'll see that I'm just turning the wrists forward as I do the movement. Now, as you develop more and more relaxation in the wrists, they become more loose. You can get a little bit more speed going into the wrists and a bit more relaxation. But in the beginning, this might feel a little bit unusual or clunky. But as you get more relaxed, you'll find that your wrists are moving much easier and you're getting more mobility in there. The next exercise we're going to do is just a bit of a shoulder rotation. So rotating both shoulders now forward to back. Now about 10 times in each direction will be good for this. As you'll notice with this movement, I'm not bending the arms as I bring the shoulders up. You don't want to put too much effort into this. You want to be doing this using the least amount of energy possible. Just the tiniest amount of energy to lift those shoulders up just a little bit. Letting the arms hang down, the bones in the arm becoming heavy. Just the shoulder moving now, not the arms. Now we're going to alternate forward to backward. And again, you'll see my arms are quite straight as I do this movement because I'm not using the arms or the elbows, not engaging the arms to do the movement, just the shoulders only. Most people carry a lot of tension in their shoulders, more so than any other body part. So when you're doing your warm-up practices, it does no harm to focus on the shoulders a little bit longer than you would focus on the other body parts. 10 times in each direction is good for this exercise, or you can do more if you wish. Now you'll also notice that I'm not moving my body around all over the place while I do this movement. You want to still maintain the straight line from the top to the bottom, just keeping your head centered, your spine straight, shoulders just moving around the body like this. The next exercise is to open the chest a little bit. So what we're going to do is with fists, one, and on the second time throw the arms out with the hands open. Fists and then hands open. Fists, hands open. And get a bit of a rhythm going. Each time you do this movement, as your hands open and it's almost like you're throwing the arms back. Each time you do this, you'll feel a nice stretch here in this part of the arm, just at the upper pecs. The next exercise is we're just going to turn the upper body. So you bring the elbows up a little bit like here, letting the elbows hang loosely, but just bringing the hands up to about this height. And you want to be looking straight ahead when you do this movement because you're just going to gently turn the upper body. Now you'll notice I'm not moving my hips here in this movement. Doesn't mean that there's not some movement happening deep in the body, but generally we're not doing a big hip turning movement. It's just the upper body here, just the upper body. Now while you're doing all these movements, it's important that the knees are loose and relaxed. You don't want to have the legs locked at any time when you're practicing your Qigong or your Tai Chi warm-ups. Just nice and easy, using the least amount of energy, getting a little bit of movement into the upper thoracic area. Shoulders relaxed, sinking down. Looking straight ahead. Now from here we're just going to turn right around, so now engaging the hips, turning using the whole body. Again, keeping the arms just up a little bit and looking behind you now with this movement. Once again, as you're doing this movement, you want to pivot on your center line. You don't want to be breaking your center line by turning around like this and getting the back moving all over the place. You want to maintain that nice straight line in the back as you turn around. And now back to just letting the arms swing loosely. Gently tapping off the body. nice and relaxed. Again, you can do this movement for as long as you like. Just trying to relax the body as much as you can, letting the arms just fall loose, maintaining that straight line from top to bottom. The next exercise is we're going to rotate the hips. So a nice hip rotation like this. With this movement, because we carry a lot of tension in the waist, you can do as much as 5 to 10 minutes of this. In fact, sometimes you might just want to do this exercise on its own in your practice warm-up to get a nice amount of relaxation into the hip area. The center is very important when it comes to Tai Chi and Qigong. We talk about the Dantian as being the center of the body where all the movement occurs. It is the origin of the movement in the body. So it's very good to get as much relaxation and motion into the center as you can, because we generally carry so much tightness there. Now you could do very small circles and just really feeling with your mind going into the body and feeling as much as you can in the body what's happening. Feeling tiny little movement and then changing direction again. The next movement, we're just going to shake the hips a little bit. This is a great movement to free up chi in the waist area. Again, we carry a lot of tightness in the waist. This shaking motion is kind of just shakes up the energy a little bit. Very good for your mobility in the hips. And in Tai Chi, we do a lot of movement from the waist. In Qigong, we do a lot of circular movements. So getting some movement and shaking in there is a good idea. Now, for the next movement, we're going to work on the knees. In Tai Chi, you'll see that I haven't really moved in my position much since we started. The knees do a lot of work in your Qigong. You could be standing in one position for 20 minutes, so your knees are going to be sometimes not moving very much for a long period of time. So before we start our practice, we want to warm up the knees as much as we can. So now just with the hands just resting on the quads, doing nice little circles from inside to outside, just to get some motion into the knees. And changing direction. Changing direction a few times. Again, you can do this exercise as many times as you want. You'll feel probably some burning in your quads after a while. So after you finish this exercise, you just want to shake out the knee a little bit like this. Same with the other side, just shaking it out. The last area we want to exercise before we get into our practice is the ankles. So for the ankles, what you want to do is just put your foot behind by, let's say, about 1 foot length behind, just resting on the very top of your shoe, and just gently turning the foot, making small little circles with the ankle. With this exercise, we want to just let the foot rest as gently as possible on the ground so that we're not using as much energy to do the movement. The less energy you use to do the movement, the better, because more relaxation will be the result. So we want to do about 20 or 30 rotations and then switch sides. Again, putting the foot behind a little bit, just resting gently on the ground, and now turning, making nice little gentle soft circles. That completes this exercise session, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please post your comments below, and if you have any questions, please post them below in the video. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.